Well, today we are in New Jersey and we are at Logos, and my guest is Silvana. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Donna. Thanks for having me.
So what made you decide to become an optometrist?
I grew up in a family that they're all very successful. We really valued education in general, and I fell in love with the field of optometry and spending time with people and being close with them. But really, my passion of optometry started when I found dry eye.
Okay.
And
what is dry eye, you said?
Dry eyes.
Okay, what is dry eye?
Dry eye is such a common condition now. It's a dry eye disease. Millions of people have it, from kids to older people. And it is the less of secretion of oil in the eye.
Okay.
There are different types of dry eyes, but it's such an underdiagnosed disease, and it interferes with everything in our life. The time that we spend on the computer reading, simply feeling our eyes, feeling gritty, feeling watery eyes. People think, oh, my eyes are watery, they're not dry. Actually, that is the opposite. When they are watery, they're dry.
Interesting.
So
does it have to do with the tear duct, or is it the membrane of your eyeball?
It has to do with the meibomian gland,
okay,
that secretes oil into your eyes. And we need the oil, just like a car needs oil, just to run smoothly. And dry eye became such a passion for me because people really change their day to day, how many hours they can spend on the computer, redness is simply just cosmetically, people don't want to have red eyes. And
by the way, the whites of your eyes were what your beautiful smile and the whites of your eyes, because I'm always like making eye contact with people. I'm like, she's got very beautiful eyes. So that's one of the things. Mm-hmm. So like if you have a lot of redness or veins in your eyes, it could be dry.
It could be dry. Yes.
Interesting.
And simply thinking about your eyes, going about your day, feeling the blinking. We shouldn't feel that.
Okay.
And but my passion was taken to another level when we actually now have FDA-approved innovations called Optilite and Optilift. And those are non-invasive, very easy, light therapy. And it is just long-lasting relief. And that gives us much more way to reach our patients and to help them, rather than just buying eye drops that at one point they don't work anymore.
Okay, because your eye then becomes like immune to its effect. Is that right? It's just it builds up and then it just doesn't want to work
they're
anymore.
taking care of symptoms, but they're not really treating anything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so those two therapies that you talked about, you actually have the equipment here.
We have them here in office. We do them. Evaluations are not long. But we have so many patients that are really came in for just a routine eye exam,
right?
Just
they just want glasses, right?
And they walk out with this diagnosed with this chronic disease. But it's really life changing. But optometry became such passion for me with this dry eye. I love everything about the field. And the best thing is spending time with people. Really, we get, especially in a setting like a small setting, like a small business, we get to spend more time with people and we get to know them. We get to celebrate wins, we get to adjust setbacks and tailor the therapy to them, to their lifestyle. It's not one thing, fits all, so.
Well, it's interesting that you say that you're a small business. You might feel like you're a small business because maybe your staff isn't, but you're actually like a large business. What do I mean by that? From the moment that I walked through, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm somewhere very special. So you've built this business as if it's like a really big, major retailer, and yet you're independent.
Yes.
So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. So when people come here, they're going to be able to get obviously get their exam. Mm-hmm. The frames that you carry here are like multitude. Like if somebody's this entry level price point all the way up to the most luxurious frames,
Yes.
which is great.
Yeah.
So I look at you as like maybe just an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
But you're working here in the community and you're doing so
Yes.
much give back.
Yes, and we want patients, because the one thing that patients know about us, and that's what we want to give to them, is the connection. We want to connect with them. We want to get to know them. We know them by name. Patients are not transactional. They're not a number. They're not slots. So follow-up phone calls and text messages and how are you feeling, and that's what a small business should feel like, and patients should feel at home.
Like they're walking into your home.
Exactly.
I just noticed today you were interacting with one of your patients who needed to come pick up her frames, and she walked right through the door and you greeted her by name, and it was a nice to witness that. It was nice to see how you're interacting with them.
And no algorithm can really replicate that, so that's...
You used to work in a big
Yes.
corporate kind of machine kind of place. You just decided you weren't going to do that anymore.
No, because I like I was telling you, small businesses are truly the heart of our community. We give them back, and they give us, they give us their trust, and we give back our time to them, resources. So I think economically, I think our economy is based on small businesses. We're resilient towards anything. So I wholeheartedly believe in small businesses, in any kind of small, especially healthcare, because the one thing that is missing in a lot of big places is, like I said, the time.
Yes.
The time to spend, time to educate, time to listen, and ultimately time to build loyalty between the healthcare provider and the patient.
And a customized solution.
Yes.
You're going to only do for their eyes specifically what their unique eyes need.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What's one of the, I guess, a memorable fun moment that you've had here where somebody I guess either picking out a frame or, without naming any names,
Yeah.
what's it like? What surprises you and makes you just smile?
I've had I had a patient that came in, and she did not like me at first, and she was like, so I started joking around with her. We actually did a dry eye, and she she brought her grandmother from the airport to the office, because she said, my grandmother, keeps telling me she has to blink so many times. So, it was just funny because her grandmother literally came from the airport straight here. So that was very special, because she really trusted me.
At first she didn't like you, and then she realized that she did.
Yes.
So much so.
So we
grandmother,
kind of
right.
clashed at first, because she thought I was just trying to sell her something, and but again, we built that trust, and she brings her entire family here.
Are you able to look at someone just walking down the street? You know how a dentist can look at somebody and say, oh, their teeth are funny? Can you look at somebody's eyes and be like,
Yes.
they need my help?
The way they blink.
Okay.
The way they blink, yes. When people do this.
Right, and they squint.
Yeah.
I squint a lot.
Squinting.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've stopped people at the, at grocery store, and they're doing this, and I'm like,
you need me.
Yeah.
Well, also even with Angry 11s, I shared with you, I'm going to be 60, and I realized that a lot of the reason that I have these is because I didn't take time to go get an eye exam, didn't take time to wear the right prescription, and I was squinting when I was driving.
So now that we know so much about the eye, more than just a prescription, we know that our dry eye can also happen from our eyes or our muscles not closing all the way. So we have a machine called the Optilift, which is an RF radio frequency and muscle stimulator, and it stimulates. It gives a workout to your eye muscle.
Silvana, I probably need you.
And it gets rid of all these the 11s and the fine wrinkles, and it helps dry eye.
And it's called an Optilift.
Optilift, because it literally lifts up your eyelid, your lower eyelid. Again, non-invasive. We do it here in the office, and this is our latest toy. need like.
I'm gonna
but
go look.
actually,
Yes,
yeah, but take.
Okay. It's about 6 sessions, you say?
Yeah, for the face.
Wow.
Can you?
I can tell.
The lift.
It's lighter.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
lighter.
It's also lifted.
That's amazing. That's really great. Yay. Woo.
Go in the back.